It humbles me to say that I was the first person in my school's history to get directly into med school. And in this video, I want to share with you my story and how you can apply it to yourself to help you achieve the things that you want to do. If you don't know who I am, my name's Sermed and I'm a doctor working in London. I make videos about health, motivation, achieving your goals. If that's something you're into, hit the subscribe button so you can stay informed. Now, a story of me would not be complete without mentioning my parents, who have affected my life immeasurably. Now, my parents actually met in Iraq when they were both studying electric engineering. And after graduating, my dad got drafted into Saddam Hussein's army. He was going to be an engineer there, but he had a new family, a child that was just born, and he didn't want to risk losing his life. So he applied for a PhD and came to the UK. And the intention was for him to return. And his dad, my granddad, was placed as collateral. That means that if he didn't return to Iraq, the dad could be taken into prison or executed. Sadly, my granddad passed away when my dad was studying his PhD here. And so after that, there was no collateral left. And so my dad then settled with us in the UK in search for a more stable, better, more prosperous life for all of us. And so I was then born in the UK. And sadly, I've never been back to Iraq since then. But my parents have always instilled this idea in us that education is everything, and that we really need to work hard to, keep ourselves, fed, as well as future generations. And that's something that really resonated with me. Even though kind of growing up in Bradford, the schools that I went to were not excellent, okay? They were rated as requiring improvement or poor from Ofsted. Now, going to these kinds of schools, you expect certain problems which maybe you wouldn't have in schools that were more in control of their students, let's say. Like there was a lot of disruption, and just as there's culture with people from certain nations, there's culture within organizations. And within this school, the culture was to be hard. And me being the nerdy little Arab kid, I was not hard. And I didn't have any intention of being so. So I was bullied quite a lot, naturally. Okay. But still, even being in that environment, my parents always told me this saying in Arabic, which is "Ili shatar shatar b'kull makan." That means if you're clever, then you're clever anywhere. And so I had this desire instilled in me to be clever. Now, I've been reading this book recently, which is called Never Eat Alone, right? Which is an excellent book. I'll drop a link in the description below. And they talk about how using a blue flame makes someone unstoppable. And the blue flame is where ability meets desire. Now, the interesting thing is that a lot of people think that ability is natural, it's genetic, it's just random chance. But let's think about this for 1 second. In this school, which was kind of quite deprived in Bradford, me and 2 of my 3 sisters ended up doing incredibly well. Eldest sister is a dentist, second oldest is a corporate lawyer, and then I'm here in front of you chatting to this camera. Is that success? I don't know. But either way, us being in that school, we were destined for a future which is different to where we actually ended up. And a lot of that is because desire is not something that you're born with, it's something that you'll learn. So what if you're not gifted with parents who instill you with this kind of deep desire to learn? What do? Well, I mean, they say that you are the product of the 5 closest people to you. So let's say the 5 closest people to you are doing drugs. What's the likelihood of you doing drugs? Very high. So what do you need to do? You need to be able to make the relationships that will help you achieve the things that you want to do. You need to think, if I carry on going down this path, where will it lead me in 5, 10, 15 years' time? What qualities do the people that I'm holding closest to me possess that will help to improve both me and them? And if they don't have those qualities, how can I help them to possess them? How can I be a positive influence on people around me so that they can in turn be a positive influence on me? These are the things that will help to, differentiate you from the path that you were on before. Notice how I say differentiate you from the path you were on before and not from the others around you, because that's a big difference. The true nobility is superiority to your former self and not your fellow man. And you should never see yourself as superior to anyone around you, because ultimately we are all humans and we all have intrinsic value and we have different talents. Yes, I had a 20-foot poster of myself on the side of the school, but there were other people in school who didn't see academia as their priority. They didn't want that. They wanted other things at the time. Who am I to say what is more valuable? It's difficult. But the thing is, there were also lots of people who did want to do well academically. I remember there was one guy called Umar, and he came up to me once and he said that he wanted to do medicine as well, because I was kind of like, the kid that wanted to do medicine. That's just what I became, because I just said it to everyone. And so he asked me how he could do medicine. And he was one of these kids who kind of was disruptive in class, had quite poor behavior, but he came up to me humbled. And to be honest, it was late. It was too late for him. He was in the first year of A-levels, which is the second last year of school, and the subjects that he'd chosen weren't ones that you need for medical school. He hadn't done chemistry, which is a requirement basically for everywhere. And I mean, how do you break it to him? He needed to go back and do his GCSEs again and do his A-levels again. And I told him about those things. And after that, he said, "Oh, it's not worth it." Ultimately, it's down to desire. What do you want in life? And why do you want what you want is the other thing. Do you want it just because society has ingrained that desire within you? Or do you want it because that is truly what your human purpose is on this planet, and you feel as though that will bring you meaning? There's a book by Jordan Peterson called 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos. And there are lots of things in the book that are great, lots of things that I don't agree with as well. But one of the things that I do agree with is when he says that you should pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Now, I think my teachers noticed that I kind of had this blue flame going on, where I had myself focused and I was doing quite well in my exams. And so in my first year of GCSEs, 2 years earlier than I should have, I started doing my A-levels and I skipped ahead. And for the school, this was something that was unheard of. And after doing that, that's when they put this 20-foot poster of me on the side of the school. I didn't ask them to do it. They just took the photo and they put it there. And my mom was very proud. She wanted to put it on the front of the house after they took it down about a year or two later. And I told her, absolutely not. That's going in the bin. It's quite embarrassing. but it was still nice to be recognized for some of the hard work that I'd put in. So, moral of the story, know what you want and why you want what you want, and then figure out the circle of people who will help you to achieve your goals. Create a relationship action plan that will give you something specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely, and then go ahead and fire off yourself into your future. I hope this video was really useful to you. It was slightly different to my usual format, but it's just one man's experience. And I will hopefully see you in the next video. There'll be some recommended videos somewhere here, so check those out if it floats your boat. If not, that's absolutely fine as well. I'm sure there's lots of other content for you to look at on YouTube. And if you have enjoyed it, hit the like, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.